Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and we do have a blower in the background. Somebody's blowing their yard. At least it's not me having to blow my yard. If I've never told you on this channel, I hate doing yard work. Some people live for yard work, but not me. I would rather pay somebody to do yard work. It's not my thing. My thing's actually exactly what I'm doing right here. I like to be on the internet, reading the news and doing different things like that. I also like telling you that today is the day Linqto, who's one of my sponsors, they're going to have their CEO, Bill Saris, and Patty Brewer, the CPO. What's a CPO? I don't even know. It's like CP3O, C3PO. But they're going to demo their new feature, which is coming soon to the Linqto platform. Basically, this is going to be a secondary market, is the way that I understand it, where, you know, up until now, when you buy like private equity, like Ripple equity or Polysign equity, when you buy those things on the platform, the only time that you're going to get liquid is if the company either goes public or they merge or they get bought or they have some kind of liquidity event. Well, that's about to change. Now on the platform, if you own private equity, you're going to be able to sell to other people on the platform, buy and sell in a secondary market, and that's exciting. That's a game changer, actually. The link to Linqto will be in the top of the description. Now let's move on. We've got ourselves a XRP. The way this has been working over the last 2 or 3 weeks is we'll have a surge one day, and then we'll have a pullback for a couple of days, and then a surge. So it's setting up right now for the surge because we've had a pullback for the last 24 plus hours. Now, every once in a while, I like to go to TradingView and mess around and see what some of these people that do the charting are saying. This guy is, I don't know what his XRP Johnny. But anyway, down here, I like what he says. He says, speculation. XRP already broke out of the macro trend like it did in 2017. SEC case caused XRP to go to, so what they're saying is that at the SEC, if it's a favorable ruling, it could send XRP to 27, retrace to $10. Exchanges relist XRP for wave 5, and then $200 minus 95 retraced equals $10. So it looks like they're calling for as high as $200. I don't know what time frame. Then this guy comments and says, down here it says 200, 275. Retrace to 10 to 30. So they're already calling going that as high as that. That's I can tell you that would be a game changer over here. Now, this guy is putting out some interesting charting too. He goes by Bobby A. Most won't realize it until we are well underway. Now, I think he's 1,000% right. XRP, he says, let me explain this like you eat crayons. XRP ETH chart. XRP will gain against Ethereum in the coming months and years. I know you won't believe it, and none, whatever that means, because you are the herd, but it will happen and soon. GL, by the way, no one else has been posting this chart. I believe that for years, like I've told you on this channel, I don't believe it, I know it, that for years, you've had a concerted effort to create a big lie, the big lie being Bitcoin and Ethereum and crypto. And I think that lie is coming to an end. And now it's going to be the actual digital assets that work and are more efficient, faster, less expensive, and all the things that XRP and XLM are going to rise to the top. You know, they say the cream always rises to the top. And I believe that you are in the process of watching that. And here's a good example of one of the shenanigans that went on for the last 5 years. Today, it just so happens, well, the first one is all of a sudden CoinDesk wants to talk about XRP all the time. They didn't do that for the last 5 years. You had to drag them kicking and screaming to cover anything Ripple or XRP. But now they're all about it. This morning, they said XRP trading volume spiked to billions of dollars on Upbit, BitHum, and Corbit, three South Korea's top exchanges by volume, as the token rose 26% in the past week. Well, this immediately reminded me of one of the shenanigans that went on back in 2018. To be specific, January 9th, 2018. I was there. I woke up and saw this. CoinMarketCap removes South Korea exchanges. Ripple market cap drops 20 billion. This was done. They didn't tell anybody, and it's what it caused the eventual slide of XRP. And they never said a word. They just did it. And it made it appear like there was just an XRP price drop that morning when there really wasn't. And then later on, we did some research and found out that the founder of CoinMarketCap and the people behind him are a lot of the same people that popped up in ETHgate. Now that's at the time. I think Binance now owns CoinMarketCap. Hey, CoinMarketCap, maybe you can not toy with the pricing this time, since crypto is global and all, which it was back then too. Now, this was put out by Brad Combs of Digital Perspectives, he's the guy that is organizing the first major XRP conference, XRP Las Vegas, which is in about a month. And he says, join us. And he goes right here. He says, time's running out. Get your tickets. He's got less than 60 tickets left. So he's going to sell this thing out is what that means. He's got less than 60 tickets left. Now, something hilarious that was brought to my attention. This is something that people are looking into. I'll say it this way. I cannot imagine a world in which Brad Garlinghouse does not at least show his face to say hello for 15 minutes at the XRP Las Vegas conference. I can't even imagine that. But if he does not, that somebody, I'm a Howard Stern fan, and one of the funniest things on the Howard Stern show is what they call Flat Ronnie. Ronnie, the limo driver, is Howard Stern's limo driver. They created a cardboard cutout of him, and then it's like they'll put the thing different places, and it's like a running joke for everybody to stand with Flat Ronnie and take their picture. Well, somebody came up with a hilarious idea of creating a flat Brad Garlinghouse, so that flat Brad Garlinghouse is like a backup just in case by some crazy weirdo miracle that Brad does not show up. And then this guy says, you'll need a high resolution Brad pic. So if anybody out there knows how to do this, because it's not my lane, I've got an even better idea. If any of you want to DM me, because it's possible you won't be able to find a high resolution like that. But that doesn't mean that you couldn't do things like what the official cool guy did here and put faces on already existing things you do have high resolution on. That might be even funnier to have at the conference. But anyway, send me some ideas and let me know if any of you know how to do this. I'm not like the guy that's going to be heading that up or anything, but I think it's hilarious. So anyway, send me ideas and if you know how to do that kind of thing. All right. Jim Cramer has weighed in on Ripple SEC case.
SEC says, look, they're creating securities day after day after day. There's a Ripple case. They may not even win the Ripple case, but the Binance is very different because that's...
Yeah, they may not even win the Ripple case. A lot of people do not like that Jim Cramer's talking about that. Now, this is a tweet that I can get behind. I like his thought pattern here. Something I want all of you to understand regarding the astronomical price predictions of XRP. It will be a thread. Right now, $3 billion are traded daily on XRP. The price is 48 cents. If you wanted to move $1 trillion per day with XRP, you'd expect the price to be $150. However, when you start moving trillions of dollars with XRP, you will need ODL providers to facilitate such transactions. This creates a staking effect, reducing the supply. This combined with investors' NFTs, DeFi lending, etc., causes a huge demand for XRP. So according to some experts, in order to successfully move 1 trillion using XRP every day, the price of the XRP has to be more than 2,500. Well, we know David Schwartz said that the price has to be high. Well, he didn't say 2,500, but he said the price has to be high. To put things in perspective, Swift daily volume is $5 trillion. Market cap is also irrelevant. Gold's market cap is $13 trillion, and gold is very difficult to move fast. And then look down here, he says, I know it may sound like a pipe dream right now, but gold was $35 in 1967, now $1,950. And gold cannot be moved cheap. It has no smart contract or DeFi functionality. You believe USD can lose 90% of its value to gold, but not to XRP, even when banks are in trouble? How come? Ooh, I love the way he's thinking there. Stuart Alderati had a real problem with what Gary was asking for in front of Congress yesterday. The SEC's $2.2 billion funding request includes $680 million for 1,500 enforcement staff. So how much of this is for rulemaking to provide actual guidance versus more enforcement actions that stretch theories and the SEC's jurisdiction far past any faithful allegiance to the law? Then we got this from CoinDesk. XRP is now at the center. They just can't get enough of covering XRP now. Go figure. XRP is now at the center of a legal battle between the company and the U.S. SEC, alleging that Ripple sold the asset in violation of federal law. Although Ripple and XRP are inherently related, they are still separate entities, at least on paper. Oh, how things change, folks. And then we've got this. Just in Saudi Arabia enters trade alliance with China, Russia, India, Pakistan, and 4 Central Asian nations to step further away from reliance on the U.S. dollar. Folks, this is accelerating at a pretty crazy pace, because we also had this. Breaking news, China and Brazil have reached a deal to trade in their own currencies, ditching the U.S. dollar as an intermediary, adding up. Well, it also adds up. Remember, doesn't Ripple have a ODL corridor over in Brazil? That's interesting, isn't it? Then this was interesting going around yesterday. Molly Elmore, what is Project Sandman? Listen to this.
A theory, because it's a little difficult to prove, that hundreds of nations have a coordinated plan to basically pull out of the U.S. dollar system at the same time.
Flip the switch.
Causing some fairly significant consequences, which we'll talk about today.
And then here's a little thing. 100 plus nations have global agreement now being deployed called Project Sandman to drop and end dominance of U.S. dollar and petrodollar. Folks, this is not an advertisement. I don't have any advertisers pulled up. But if you know, I was running through this in my mind yesterday, and I'm sitting there going, okay, so these guys, let's say this is true. We know they're trying to pull the plug on the U.S. dollar. We just don't know how fast they're going to do it. But let's say it is fast. The reason I own gold and XRP on a ledger or on a hard wallet so that I control the private keys. What else is there that can protect you, folks? What else is there? Think it through. Look at this guy. I don't even know who this guy is, but apparently he does the Morgan Report, and he is right on.
I think Ripple, back to your question, I mean, I add a dot on the I. There's a lot of hatred out there for that XRP, and I don't even know why. But regardless of personality,
because it works,
the principles of what that system does, there's no one close to it. I mean, let's think about that.
Not Bitcoin, not Ethereum. I can guarantee you that.
If you're in this digital world and you're going to transfer wealth around and you want it to be verifiable on a ledger that's immutable and accurate for all parties, it can't be beat.
Mm-hmm. Remember that time Michael Arrington was talking about how he sent $50 million in XRP, and it moved in seconds and cost like pennies, below pennies? It's an unbelievable. There's a reason that so many forces have gone in motion to slow this down over the last few years. Representative Bill Huizenga. Now he is the what's his title? I think he runs the finance. Is it the finance committee? Anyway, he's like the head guy, I think, to hold Gary Gensler accountable. Well, he is basically saying the financial committee looks forward to seeing you on April 18th. He got a shot of him. Then I happened to run upon Gary Gensler's newest calendar. He only shows you to December. We're now in March, so So we're still missing January and February. We're going into April now. So January, February, March, Gary Gensler still isn't showing that calendar. I'm sure he's got more things to scrub. But this ought to bother some people. Look who's on his, looks like the Mr. You'll Own Nothing and Be Happy. So I gave Patrick McHenry and Warren Davidson and Tom Emmer and Representative Bill Huizenga. So here's the first question. Chairman Gensler, as you crack down on crypto innovation in the U.S., why did you have a meeting in December with a man who runs an organization that proudly poses the idea that in 2030 you're going to own nothing and be happy? Do you agree with him that this is America's future? This should be America's future? Then you've got, let's vote this woman out. It would make my life to watch this woman have to give a speech losing her seat, because she is a pure bad guy, folks. There aren't any bad guys as big as this bad guy. She doesn't tell the truth. She doesn't give a rip about the American people. She's in the back pocket of the bank. Simple as that. And she will lie at will. Now, you got to hear this because I think it's important. I believe that I do believe that where this story ends, it's not Bitcoin. This story ends with Freedom Coin. And when I say that, I mean a CBD designed for good instead of evil. And I've always believed that XRP and XLM are somewhere involved in that. Listen to what he says.
Congressman, House Whip Tom Emmer, I include Governor DeSantis, they are rightfully concerned about how do we protect privacy? How do we protect people's autonomy in a digital-based, an internet-based financial system, a central, a sovereign and non-sovereign digital currency? And they are looking to the Chinese model, which is, let's face it, has already created a benchmark for what a central bank digital currency could look like. And they're saying that is not sufficiently private for our citizens. That provides the state with the ability to not only surveil, but potentially even censor people's economic choices. And they're saying, just say no to that form of central bank digital currency. Where I differ with them is the assumption that we in America, the world's most ingenuitive nation history's ever known, could not design a very different central bank digital currency, what I'd like to call a liberty coin, a freedom coin, where we actually, as an affirmative choice, design privacy into this central bank digital currency.
Now you're talking. You can't ignore the technology and where the world's going. So all you can do is sit down and have some people that actually love this country and the people in it and design something that's good for us and not for the purpose of controlling us like Elizabeth Warren and Gary Gensler want to do. Not for evil. That's all we're talking about. Let me write that down. Liberty coin, freedom coin. That's what we're talking about, folks. That is it. Now, this is red flag city to me. I'm assuming this is real on the European Central Bank. And remember, who runs the European Central Bank? We've got her on video. Christine Lagarde literally said, it's not Bitcoin. And now they're flashing Bitcoin on the side of their building at night and saying, study Bitcoin. This is red flag city, folks. I'm telling you, when you see that, what you should be seeing is not, oh, Bitcoin, oh yeah. No, they can't control that. It's got to be something they can control, folks, or it's not happening. So when they're flashing that up, run is what I see. I'm going to finish with this. Meta Lawman, crypto industry customers have 1 week to find a new home for their signature bank accounts, or the FDIC will close their accounts and send them a check in the mail. Meanwhile, all non-crypto accounts have transitioned over to the acquiring bank. This is literally criminal right here, folks. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family that this closing down people's bank accounts and not even telling them why